It is championship time in the North Atlantic Conference, the NAC championship game in women's soccer, as the four-time defending NAC champion Husson Eagles take on the number one seed, the Castleton Spartans. The Spartans the number one seed, Husson the number 3 seed, and here they are again in women's soccer meeting for the NAC championship. I'm Jack Healey on board with Mike Coppinger. Weston Wheeler is our producer, and our camera people are Katie and Brian on this crisp Saturday afternoon with the crisp wind blowing and overcast skies. It should be a beauty here in the NAC championship game, as these two teams are longtime rivals. They played during the regular season, and they are still looking for their first goal, a scoreless tie. The Spartans at 15-2-1, the number 1 seed, entering this afternoon's championship against number 3 seed Husson. Husson 14-5-1, and it's a rematch of last year's title game. Last year, the Eagles defeated the Spartans 3-1 to claim their 4th consecutive NAC championship. Megan Clement scored a goal and assisted on another to lead Husson offensively. Castleton is the last team to win a NAC championship before the Eagles reeled off 4 straight, earning a 2-1 victory over Farmington in 2005. As we mentioned, the two teams a scoreless tie back on October 17th. Offensively, the Spartans enter play today ranked 19th overall in NCAA Division III women's soccer in scoring offense with 3.5 goals per game. Castleton is led by 3-time NAC Player of the Year Courtney Chadburn. Let us say congratulations to Courtney, the 3 years in a row, the North Atlantic Conference Player of the Year. She leads the NAC in goals with 21 points with 48. Overall in NCAA Division III women's soccer, Chadburn ranks 14th in points per game, 2.82, and total goals 21, 15th overall in goals per game, 1.235, and total points 48. Alongside Chadburn, Hillary Cook is second in the NAC in goals with 15 points with 34. Megan Blongi third overall in goals with 12 points 31. Both Megan Blongi and Hillary Cook first teamers in the all conference, the first team in the NAC, and also a goalkeeper Erica Davis is also first team in the NAC. And both these teams, you can tell they're meeting in the championship, Mike Coppinger, because they both have several representatives on the NAC all-conference team, both first team and second team. We'd like to welcome on board Mike Coppinger, assistant girls varsity soccer coach at nearby Rutland High School, as the game today on the Northeast Sports Network and also on PEGTV Channel 20 in the immediate Rutland area on Comcast, and our producers at Channel 20, Mike Valentine and also Chris McCormick. Should be a great game. I mean, what can we say? Two great teams, a nice rivalry, the 4-time defending NAC champion, and these two teams play to a scoreless tie.
Well, Jack, Yogi Berra said it. Deja vu all over again. It was almost a year to the day, it feels like, that we were here watching these two teams go at each other a year ago for the championship, and here we are again. You could almost sense through the season that these two teams were destined for one another, as the play went on, and how they played each other to the scoreless tie in the regular season. And then you had mentioned accolades all around for both teams and the players that are on the teams with the nominations to the all-conference and so on. So this is setting up to be a real classic here in college soccer, and I wouldn't be surprised, Jack, if we stay for the extra frame for some overtime today. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it should be very interesting indeed, and this might not be even the loser of this game. It might not be the final game of the year. Just to tell you what could happen, the winner will advance to the NCAA tournament. The loser very well could get a bid to the ECAC tournament, and we very well could be back here if indeed Castleton either gets the ECAC bid, and I'm not sure as to the situation as to whether there would be a home game in the NCAA tournament or not, but we very well could be back here at Spartan Stadium. We know this, the men's team, just as a matter of fact here, the men's team will not get an ECAC bid because the policy here at Castleton is that they don't go to the tournament unless they at least get to the title game. So a year ago, the men did go to the ECAC tournament, but they lost in the championship game. So thus the ECAC tournament bid. I just wanted to clarify that as you have your shot at Spartan Stadium here. All kinds of things going on around the state. We'll keep people posted. We got all kinds of high school boys and girls soccer championship action. We have the Norwich-Castleton battle in football for the
Maple Bucket.
Maple Sap Bucket. A nice picture of that bucket in the paper today in the Rutland Herald. And so all kinds of things going on. But Sparty is here. Sparty is not at Norwich. He is here on the sideline for the Castleton Husson game.
And you need to point out also that President David Walk is here.
Yes,
for a championship game, and it's great to have him here. And they're, driving into the parking lot today, it was pretty well filled. A good contingent coming down from Maine to support this Husson team, and I'm sure lots of family members for players on Castleton making the trip down as well for a championship game. So this is, you can feel the electricity in the air, Jack.
Sure can. Keith Posley is the Husson coach, and Chris Champdelane, the coach of the Castleton Spartans. Mike Coppinger will be down below if Castleton does win with the post-game show, all that coming up. Wanted to mention the All-NAC first team, Megan Blongy from Castleton, Courtney Chadburn from Castleton, Hillary Cook from Castleton, Eric Davis from Castleton. From Husson, we'll see Caitlin Butterfield today on the first team NAC. Also from Husson, Rebecca Jones and also Michelle Manning. On the second team, from Husson, Amanda Gifford. And from Castleton, Kelly Tatro. So just all up and down the line, both teams well represented on the All-NAC team, including, of course, the three-time NAC Player of the Year, Courtney Chadburn. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for Husson, the Husson Eagles out of Bangor, Maine. Number 2, Caitlin Butterfield, starting at defender, a 5'2" senior from Gorham, Maine. Number 3 is Jana Kluke, a defender, 5'4" senior from Presque Isle, Maine. Number 6, Alexandra Lanuski, a forward, 5'1" junior from Scarborough, Maine. Number 10, Amanda Gifford, a midfielder, 5'3" junior from Lee, Maine. Number 11 is Megan Clement, a forward, 5'6" senior from Brunswick, Maine. Number 12 is Rosalind Peterson, a goalkeeper, 5'11" junior from Newport, Maine. I say Rosalind. I think the correct pronunciation is probably Rosalind. Rosalind Peterson, the goalkeeper, 5'11" junior from Newport, Maine. Number 17, midfielder and defender, is Rebecca Jones, a 5'5" senior from Newmarket, New Hampshire. Number 19 is Kaylee Picarillo, a midfielder, 5'3", sophomore from Walpole, New Hampshire. Number 20 is Katie McLaughlin, a midfielder, 5'6" junior from Winslow, Maine. Number 22 is Michelle Manning, a midfielder, 5'10" senior from Hamden, Maine. And number 26 is Caitlin Cloutier, a midfielder and also a defender, 5'6" junior from Groventon, New Hampshire. Again, the goalkeeper is Rosalind Peterson, 5'11" junior from Newport, Maine. And in the dark uniforms down below with the gold numerals, Husson, as we have the captains meeting the officials here in white with the green numerals, will be the Castleton Spartans, who will have number 0, Erica Davis, the goalkeeper, 5'10" sophomore from Cambridge, Vermont. Number 5 is Carol Frey, defender, a 5'3" freshman from Waterbury Center, Vermont. Number 6, forward Hillary Cook, a 5'7" junior from Marlborough, Connecticut. Number 9, the 3-time NAC Player of the Year, Courtney Chadburn, forward, 5'7" junior from North Clarendon, Vermont. Number 11 is Kelly Tatro, a defender, 5'6" junior from Tolland, Connecticut. Number 12 is Kelly Gherkin, midfielder, 5'4" junior from Scottsville, New York. Number 13 is Bryn Campbell, midfielder, 5'3" junior from Clarendon, Vermont. Number 15 is Healey Roberge, defender, 5'3" freshman from Southington, Connecticut. Number 18 is Sarah Ethier, midfielder, 5'10" sophomore from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Number 21 is Brandy White, a midfielder, 5'4" junior from Springfield, Vermont. And number 24 is Megan Blongy, forward, 5'5" sophomore from Rutland, Vermont, nearby Rutland, a graduate of Rutland High School. And there are the starting lineups for both teams. They'll be introduced here at Spartan Stadium as well. We mentioned all kinds of things going on around the state. Castleton Norwich football, of course, and the boys and girls soccer championships. We got word here. People may or may not know this, but the boys and girls Division III soccer state championships in the state of Vermont were both postponed. They were to be played either yesterday or I believe they were scheduled for today, but they were scheduled for Virgins High School, and the field is unplayable, and so they have rescheduled the 2 games for right here at Spartan Stadium. One is Monday night at 6:15. Now, I beg your pardon, I don't know which one is which, but one of the state title games in Division III will be Monday here at 6:15. The other one will be here at Spartan Stadium at 6:15. So Spartan Stadium will be hosting 2 state championship games in soccer in Division III, and all 3 of the state championship games in football a week from today, plus the North-South Senior Bowl All-Star game in football in a couple of weeks. Castleton is not only the hub of Vermont, but the hub of the universe.
Well, I think that's exactly what President David Walk envisioned when they set out to build this wonderful facility right here, and of course the synthetic turf field, which can stand up to a lot of different play on it. You know, it doesn't get worn down, obviously, like grass does, and is great in any condition, whether it's raining, God forbid if it's snowing as the month goes on. It could happen.
I was up at BFA of St. Albans for that football game last night, and let me tell you something, it was absolutely horrific. Terrible conditions.
Yeah, and you know it's so difficult because you do get late into the season and fields get worn down, and you don't want field conditions to dictate certainly a game, but a championship game nonetheless. You don't want the field conditions to dictate that. I didn't see the game, not to say that that's what happened in St. Albans, but when you're on excuse the pun, a level playing surface that the field is in top-notch condition, it makes for such a better game to watch, to play, and etc.
Well, it is true. Both teams played on the same field. BFA defeated Rutland twice, both on pretty bad fields, but BFA won all its games to this point and will play Hartford in the Division I state championship game in football a week from today. So
but
BFA certainly deserves to be there. They won them all.
No doubt, and it's a busy day for the crew for NSN. They're all over the state covering a lot of different games. So, tune in. We're on PEGTV in Rutland, so we're happy to have all those folks in Rutland watching.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Spartan Stadium, our national anthem. Will be set to go here in just a moment. The referees, we have John Sivert, Kixie Austin, and
Randy Dewey.
Castleton in the white uniforms and Husson in the dark green. I believe that's dark green with gold numerals. You know, one thing I've really noticed over the this is my second year of the fall sports season here at Castleton, is that everybody in the NAC seems to have green as a color.
I have not noticed that, Jack.
I'm being facetious, but there are certainly a lot of teams that have green. Well, Linden State, Husson, Castleton, Green Mountain College, there's a few off the top of my head. They're all green. You know, I say that's either dark green. It's hard to tell whether that's dark green or black for.
It looks like a black to me. Either way, it's
their colors are green too.
It is. We've always talked about how difficult it is to read some of those numbers on the jerseys, but that great dark color, which looks like it's black from here, it makes those numerals show up real well.
So four-time NAC champion, the Husson Eagles, and the Spartans, the last team to win a championship before Husson. So we're set to go. Mike Coppinger has been on board with us this year and also last year. His expertise. We certainly thank him for
it's been
carrying us for the last couple of years. I appreciate it.
It's
Your
been a lot of fun.
shoulders must be really hurting.
No, not at all. It's a lot of fun. And Jack, what's great is when I hear you regurgitate some of the things that we've talked about. So you're a good student, or I'm a good teacher, one of the two. So
regurgitate. That's the right word, I guess. As you look out, your camera angle from across the stands here at Spartan Stadium. Castleton going right to left in white, and Husson left to right. To your right is Erica Davis, the Spartan goalkeeper. Rosalind Peterson to your left for Husson. You know, a scoreless tie here, so you get the feeling, a scoreless tie when they played in the regular season. That's Lunewski, number 6 now for Husson. Trying to feed it on the left wing, top of the arc, and it'll bounce in across the goal line. I know, and we discussed this the last time. This is a statistic you really love. What was it? Husson leads the series 6-4-2 this decade, and I agree it has nothing to do with the game today, as we discussed last week. And certainly the earlier game has nothing to do with this one, but it was scoreless, so you kind of get the feeling, just judging on the history of the two teams, is one goal going to be it?
And from a psychological standpoint, Jack, that first goal is so big for whichever team gets it, because it was a scoreless tie, and it looks like that goals in a game like this are going to be hard to come by. So getting on the board first is going to be crucial for either team.
So Husson on the throw-in Castleton territory. Husson was the number 3 seed, Castleton the number 1 seed, and Castleton did get a bye in the quarters. Husson had that extra game. Kluke, number 3 for Husson. Throws it across the half line, where it's picked up there by Kelly Gherkin at the half line. Punched the other way by Lunewski. On a chase is Rebecca Jones. Rebecca Jones on a collision, and this will be the quick start for Husson.
Well, this will be an interesting play here, Jack. Just outside the area, we'll have a free kick, as that was a trip right there. So we'll see what Husson's able to put together for a free direct kick right now.
And it will be Caitlin Butterfield. Throws it across the area, and it can't connect in the box. It'll be the goal kick for Erica Davis. Just underway, about 2 minutes in. Teams are scoreless. Husson and Castleton in the NAC championship game in women's soccer. Husson in the darker uniforms, Kluke. Headed back the other way, number 12, Kelly Gherkin for Castleton. Now Megan Blongy had it poked away, back into the Castleton side of the field. Manning's number 22, trying to control. Now Bryn Campbell across the half line, and here is Courtney Chadburn. Megan Blongy looking to run it down. Butterfield comes over. Bumped a little bit by Blongy, and it goes across the line. It'll be a throw-in for Husson. Along the far sideline.
That's going to be a push from behind there. So this will be Castleton's first chance for a restart. I'd say this is probably about 25, well, check that, 30 yards or so off of the goal. Probably look to just loft this one up and over, put it in free space, Jack, and see if they can run onto it.
This is Tatro right down the middle, and it is headed in. Oh, what a play! The top of the box. Hillary Cook, and the Spartans lead at 1-0.
Well, Jack, exactly like you want to draw it up right there. You want to loft it up and over as that ball's being kicked. You want to start to step into the area. A beautiful head that just touched to the side of the goalkeeper, caught the back of the net, and as quick as that, Jack, Castleton goes up 1-0. What a fantastic play.
We'll take another look at it. Tatro will get an assist, so they were scoreless in October, but Castleton scores here in November.
Boy, as I said, Jack, you want to get out to the fastest start as you can. A beautiful ball. If we can watch that one more time, just perhaps. It is a free kick restart. As I said, 30 yards out, a low-driven ball. Hillary Cook slides in there, diving header, and redirects it in. That is a tough save for a goalie to make. A header, you never know where it's going to come off, and a beautiful play right there just minutes into this first half.
So we asked the question, and we'll soon find out. Is one going to be enough? But obviously it's early. 41-24 to go in the first half, and the Spartans have a 1-0 lead.
Boy, I tell you, that you got to feel good if you're Castleton to be able to get that goal, get into the driver's seat, and right now you can kind of sit back, play a little more defensive-oriented soccer because you have that one goal on the board. That's a huge goal right there.
We might add that the Spartans we talked about the win. The Spartans it is a relatively strong win, certainly not unbelievably so.
And they were going against that win on the kick, Jack. And if you remember back to the replay we just saw, it was a low-driven ball. It wasn't highly, it wasn't a lofted ball in. It was more of a low-driven ball, which is exactly what you want to do when you're playing it into the wind.
So the Spartans with a 1-0 lead here toward the middle of the field, over to run it down along the near side to the Eagles trying to control. Manning, number 22, had control toward the arc, and a quick throw in for the Eagles.
That was Michelle Manning, one of the high-powered offensive threats that Husson has. In 18 games, she has 10 goals on the season, 5 assists. She is definitely a force to be reckoned with. They're going to have to keep her in check today if they want to if Castle wants to have a chance to win this game.
And Megan Blongi, too far for Cook. Cloutier is number 26 for Husson.
I believe that's going to be a trip on Hillary Cook as she was going after that ball. Clipped the back heels of that defender for Husson just slightly.
Well, that's exactly, that goal is how you draw it up on the board.
And again, having it happen so early in the game too, Jack, that's when you want to catch a team napping is early on. You don't want to have a team get settled into their play, settled into their routine. You want to try to jump on a team as early as possible.
Of Chadburn, and the throw in along the far side for Husson will be number 3, Jenna Kluke. Here's Chadburn now with it. On the right wing, Megan Blongi. Butterfield, number 2, across the line.
So, Jack, I did want to report, I had done a little research before the game here. As you remember, our last game in the semifinals, Sarah Ethier had gone down. What it looked like it was some sort of calf strain or pull. It was actually just cramps. Okay. So she's back in the lineup today, and she's obviously an integral part of this Castleton team playing in the midfield position. So
I seem to recall my diagnosis was cramps.
Yeah.
I am getting my degree in medicine here as well. It seemed like it, we always
the way that she was grabbing onto it didn't look like it was a kick or that she had gotten kicked or anything.
Randy White up toward Cook and across the line, near side, the throw in for the Spartans, who lead at 1-0 with 38:10 to go into the first half here. And you have the score on your screen and the time on your screen as well. Courtney Chadburn along the near side. Courtney Chadburn toward the 18. Over Caitlin Butterfield, who is also a all-NAC first-teamer.
Boy, Jack, when a big game like this, I look down at the bench here, and neither bench, for whether it be Husson or Castleton, their reserve players are sitting down at all. They're standing up, they're cheering their team on, and that's exactly what you want to have and hear coming from the sideline. So this is a great day, and as we said before, a lot of electricity in the stands today, and so far the play has matched it.
And temperature probably in the low 40s, maybe upper 30s here today. See if there's an opportunity just inside the 18. Clement couldn't quite pull the trigger. Lanuski back toward the top of the arc, back out toward the 25. And that's Bryn Campbell for Castleton. Megan Blongi on a chase. Kluke's number 3. Blongi right there, number 24. Slides it ahead on the right wing to Courtney Chadburn. Chadburn putting on a move. Chadburn toward the 18. Throws it through the area. Header! They score! It's 2-0 Castleton.
Well, Jack, that play originated from all the way on the other side of the field. Courtney Chadburn puts a fantastic cross that was actually curling in on net. And Castleton slipped in behind the defensive ranks of Husson to be able to get another header goal, Jack. That is just absolutely phenomenal. 2 header goals here in the first half of the game, and Castleton goes up 2-0.
I believe the goal was Brandy White. Brandy White from Courtney Chadburn. It's 2-0. I mean, that is huge as we'll take another look at it.
Yeah, Jack, and as I said, Courtney Chadburn is going to send a beautiful cross. You can see she's attacking the ball right now. She comes up with it, sends a beautiful cross in just a second here from outside of the box. She loses her man just slightly right here and puts a nice shot. You can see it's actually going to curl in towards the net, and you can see White slipping in behind, one bounce, header in the back of the net. Keeper tried to come out to make a save on it, but just a little bit out of her reach. So, again, Jack, I mean, just great play, great offensive job right there. The reigning NAC champion, 3-time NAC champion, sending that ball, Courtney Chadburn, all the way across for that eventual goal.
Brandy White, number 21, on the goal from Springfield, Vermont. North Clarendon, Vermont to Springfield, Vermont for the second Castleton goal. Spartans lead at 2-0. Here's Megan Blongy.
So, Jack, we were worried about whether there were going to be goals in this game, and opening 10 minutes, we have 2 in the back of the net.
Another opportunity through the box, through the area. Again, not to, as I say again, and I couldn't agree with you more. One game certainly has nothing to do with another, but when you think of the earlier game being scoreless and now 2-0, that's, you think about how big the next goal would be. If it's Castleton, I mean, it's like a 3-goal lead in soccer is like a 12-run lead in baseball.
And, Jack, the other big thing that I don't think we've pointed out enough is what was brought up at our interview at the end of the last game. Arnott said it, as well as Coach Chapdelaine. A lot of these girls remember that loss that they received to Husson in that NAC championship game last year. So I guarantee that these Castleton women stepped on the field with that game in mind of last year.
Again, Husson has won the NAC championship 4 straight years. Castleton, last team to win the championship before Husson. And Castleton has a 2-0 lead on goals by Hillary Cook and also by Brandy White. Both just perfect goals, just great plays. Draw it up on the board. Here's Manning at the 35. Manning knocked away at the arc, but Husson in the darker uniforms. Clement, and out is Davis, and lets it go across the line. 2-0 Castleton, 34-10 to go in the first half. Erica Davis, first team all-league in the NAC at goalkeeper. Back out toward the half field, Clement. Gherkin, number 12 for Castleton. Trying to control for a moment. Back forward, number 13 is Campbell. Throw in Husson. Throwing it in is Lanuski.
It looks like this will be a goal kick awarded to Castleton. So right now, if you're Husson, what's most important is just to try to concentrate on getting that first goal. Start to connect some passes. You can't look up on the board and realize, oh boy, I got to come up with 2 goals to tie, 3 goals to win. You just have to think about trying to come up with that first goal right now. You think beyond that, and it seems a little too overwhelming. And honestly, Castleton, the best, I've said it before, the best defense is a great offense. And if you can keep the goals coming like this, Jack, it's going to be a great day for them.
Two teams play to a scoreless tie during the regular season, and Castleton's jumped out to the 2-0 lead here with 32:30 to go in the first half of the NAC championship game at Spartan Stadium. Manning, and it poked down. Manning on the throw-in for Husson. Here's Megan Blongy for Castleton. Blongy across the half line. Courtney Chadburn looks to chase it down, and back is Kluke. And then Butterfield, number 2. Kluke and Butterfield are back. Kluke is number 3, Butterfield number 2. Hillary Cook losing it to Kluke. Now they throw in for Bryn Campbell. For Castleton to Megan Blongy. Slides it to Hillary Cook. Top of the 18. Spartans couldn't control, knocked out toward the half field. Roberge knocks it back toward the arc. Here's Ethier now. To the arc and knocked away and cleared out to the half field by Husson to the center circle. Back over the line, the Spartans now, it's Campbell. Along the far side. Twists it past Chadburn and out is Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson coming off her line to grab that ball right there, just out of the reach. Again, another header almost by Courtney Chadburn. She was trying to flick that one in and over.
Punted out of the air by Peterson. Clement, number 11 for Husson. Clement, nice play. Back to grab it is Tatro for Castleton. The half field. That is Husson controlling it for a moment. Lanuski along the far side. Spartans get it across the half line. Rebecca Jones inside the 18. Jones trying to center it toward Manning, and a nice play there by Tatro to knock it back out toward the center of the field for Hillary Cook. On a battle there with Gifford.
I think they're going to get called, Jack, right there. Castle's going to get called for a push, as it was a foul that was on that near side right there, and it looks like Husson's going to have the restart.
Restart for Husson. So many goals come off the restart at the arc. Headed out of there, back toward the 18. And Husson looking to control, and does. Gifford now along the near side. White over to pick it up for Castleton. Past Chadburn. But Chadburn had it for a moment along the near side, but a throw in for the Husson Eagles. McLaughlin is number 20. Katie McLaughlin for Husson. Ethier at the 30. Picarillo controls now. Blocked by Blongy. Now it's Courtney Chadburn. Bangs it into the Husson side of the field, and back is Butterfield. Caitlin Butterfield, number 2 for the Eagles. Across the half line. Banged back into the Husson side of the field by Roberge. Cook trying to get to it. Kluke knocks it out of trouble across the line. Not quite. Kept alive by Rebecca Jones. And backboard now is Kelly Tatro for the Spartans. Tatro again across the half line. Hillary Cook trying to control. Back now it is Gherkin. Went by her, but the Spartans get it back into Husson territory. Back out toward the center circle, back into Castleton territory, and back into Husson territory. It was played by Lanuski. Alexandra Lanuski to the center circle. Down the middle, backboard now. It is going to be Tatro, but it's going to be actually Davis who picks it up, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, just a little bit too far played for Manny right there. She was the only one really in the area running onto that ball, but it was, I'd say about 10 feet ahead of her, though. There wasn't a chance for her to catch up to that. So we're still waiting for Husson's first offensive threat here to put some sort of quality shot on net to Erica Davis. Erica, she's been somewhat active coming out to get the balls, but hasn't been any shots on net for them.
Bryn Campbell lost it to Lanuski. Nice move by Lanuski. Campbell taps it, but Lanuski along the far side keeps it in play. Alexandra Lanuski toward the area. Back to Jones, came over number 17. Here's the throw in for Husson. This is Clement at the 25. Through the area. McLaughlin. Can't get to it. Number 20 for Husson. It'll be Davis on the goal kick. 2-0 Castleton with 27:10 to go here in the first half. The NAC Championship in women's soccer at Spartan Stadium. Burge tried to chase it down across the line. Again, Erica Davis on the goal kick. Up toward the half field. Cook off Butterfield to Blongy, but Butterfield bangs it back into Castleton territory. Bryn Campbell there along the far side. Quick throw in to Hillary Cook. Gherkin across the half line. See if Manning could get to it. Here's Manning on a chase there. And a backboard for Castleton Tatro. Manning is the player to watch, really, for Husson, number 22.
Yeah, definitely, Jack. As I had said before, 10 goals on the season, 5 assists for a total of 25 points thus far going into this NAC championship.
Nice play there by Tatro. Coming in on the left wing was Rebecca Jones, and inside the box and grabbing it is Davis.
Yeah, first real offensive threat right there. Put forth by Husson as Erica Davis had a little bit of trouble as she juggled that ball on the save as she had to go down for it, but she was still there for any eventual rebound that came up.
Here's Jones inside the 18, but it is Tatro. Knocks it out of trouble for the Spartans. Megan Blongy ahead on the left wing. Chadburn on a collision with Butterfield, and they continue on play.
Yeah, Kixie Austin's going to call basically that it was a play on right there as they were both going for the ball. There was a chance that it could have been an obstruction call possibly against Husson.
Chadburn along the near side toward the goal line across the line.
You probably won't see a whole lot of calls like that in a championship game. The referees normally, unless it really gets out of hand, really lets the players play it out and have a little bit of contact, a little bit of shoulder to shoulder.
Blongy, nice pass on the left wing to Chadburn. Hillary Cook inside the 18 toward the goal line. Taps it outside toward Chadburn, knocked out along the near side. Brandy White with a throw in. It'll be Kelsey Garceau in for the Spartans. For whom? Cook.
That's what it looks like right now. Getting a nice round of applause.
Who, of course, Hillary Cook scored the first goal. And she gets a nice round of applause from the fans here.
And back to the play, we will have the first corner of the game. This is going to be awarded to Castleton. You can see right there on the near side as Courtney Chadburn will take it.
Everybody set up. Garceau, White, Campbell through the area. Blongy in close over to tap it out. It's going to be another corner, though. The goalkeeper, Peterson.
Yeah, she actually had to come off her line to make that, and Blongy was right on the doorstep.
And here to grab it at the top of the goalkeeper's box, it is Rosalind Peterson. Had the right idea with Blongy right there. $22.50 to go first half. Castle and the Spartans have a 2-0 lead over the Husson Eagles out of Bangor, Maine. Rebecca Jones lost the chase to Healey Roberge, but it's going to be a throw-in for Husson. Manning. And it's going to be a corner for Husson. So this might be, this is their best opportunity through the area. Didn't quite get it all the way through. It's Chadburn.
And Husson didn't seem to send too many people into the area on that corner. I don't know if that was a miscommunication as they were setting it up or not, but there looked like there was only 2 girls inside the box.
And it seemed to die there anyway. Just not enough foot on the corner. As the sun breaks through here at Spartan Stadium. Here's Chadburn along the near side for the Spartans. Taps it ahead. Garceau give and go. Wanted to go back toward Chadburn across the line.
Nice play right there. Yeah, Jack, as you said, a nice give and go play. Making nice triangles right there, and unfortunately just touched a little bit wide. Garceau, of course, just coming off of the bench right there, so I think that was probably her first touch on the ball right there, and she needs to settle into her game a little bit.
Up front, Campbell with Belangi, Garceau, and Chadburn. Back to the defender, back for Tatro for the Spartans to Campbell across the half line. Garceau on a chase. Garceau through the area, tried to get it toward Chadburn, knocked out. Side the 18, out toward the half field as Husson knocks it back into the Castleton side of the field.
That's going to be an obstruction call. That's a great call right there by Kixie Austin. Now, what happened was the ball. There was a player, and I did not catch the number. I believe. Well, I'm not going to speculate, but there was a player for Castleton that was not playing the ball, that was playing the man away from where the play was, actually kind of riding her off, kind of like a moving pick in basketball, to make that analogy. And the call is going to be obstruction, so you'll get an indirect kick right there, and the ball was sent in. So it's an indirect call. So what that means is, unlike a direct kick, which a player could just kick straight on and put it into the back of the net, it has to touch off of another player prior to a shot being taken or a shot going in the net. So that's why they call it indirect.
And on that case, Clement on the indirect kick tried to get it toward McLaughlin, and they misconnected.
Correct. Generally, the way that indirects and directs are distinguished is a physical foul or a physical play, a handball, a trip, a push, is a direct kick. A rules violation, meaning an offsides call, in that case an obstruction, would be an indirect call.
Manning, a terrific move as Jones on our left wing. Manning inside the 18. Manning in close and lost it. It was poked away. Nice defensive play there. I'm trying to see who that was. I think it was Tatro.
That was Tatro, and that was a great job inside the box right there. It's always such a fine line whether you're going to take the player down and get called for a penalty. Inside the penalty area, obviously it's going to be a penalty kick, but she did a great job of staying in front of her man and going after the ball and not tripping her at the same time as she knocked it away.
2-0 Castleton, 18:52 to go here in the first half of the NAC championship game in women's soccer. Sparty wanted to grab that ball and disappointed that he didn't get to it. I don't know if we caught that on the screen or not.
I don't think so.
White is out, and into the soccer game is Kelsey Lenny for the Spartans, number 19. Husson Eagles shocked by those 2 quick goals for the Spartans, trying to come back in this one. Nice play by Ethier. Now the Eagles controlled again. Manuski trying to get a return pass and can't quite run it down along the far side. Chadburn along the far side. It's out, and the quick throw in here for...
It'll be awarded to Castleton. A little bit of discussion there as to which way it was going to go.
The throw in for Bryn Campbell, number 13 for Castleton. Again, Campbell on the throw in. Again, Campbell. Chadburn. This time Husson. Mike Coppinger not concentrating on the game, waving to his head coach. looking for a job next year.
Well, you always got to you show it up. Lori McClellan, my boss, my boss is down here and watching her former player Megan Belangi and some of these other girls like Courtney that we coached against, and brought her 2 daughters who were good players in the rec department leagues and the Summit soccer leagues in the area. So it's great to see them here.
You people watching around the world, we're talking about the immediate Rutland area, our little corner of the world here. We're so self-centered.
Rutland-centric. I'm sorry. Beg my pardon.
Every time I stop and think about that, about being all over the world, I get nervous. So I like to come to my own. And
John Warner, head men's coach, soccer coach here, had said that his son, who I believe was all the way in Germany, was it?
I remember he talking to you about that, but I can't remember.
Watches it exactly all the way out wherever he is overseas.
Yeah. Caitlin Butterfield in a battle with Garceau. Garceau, nice play, trying to feed it through the area toward Courtney Chadburn. Back out to about the 35 now for Husson. Here's Ethier. Campbell trying to chase it down toward Megan Belangi. Belangi, top of the 18. Had the thought of going toward Garceau. Here is Chadburn and off Lenny, top of the box, and just barely misconnected. That would have been
almost another header right there, Jack.
Checking in now, Maria Arnott.
And Coach, Jack, I like this right here. A lot of changes by Castleton, keeping the fresh legs out there, keeping the pressure on this Husson team right now, because that's
how deep is this team? Arnott is in for Campbell. It was Arnott who scored 2 goals in the semi that we were here last week.
And Jack, I think back to several games ago when I was doing a post-game interview with Coach Chapdelaine, and he made it very clear that he feels this is the best team that he's ever fielded for Castleton, and he was very confident in the skills of this team. So when you can turn back to your bench and look at girls that can put the ball in just as good as your starters, that's got to be a great feeling.
Also, Marcoux is checking in, number 13, Lauren Marcoux for Husson, and we'll be checking in here in just a moment. Again, you can talk about your best team. Certainly, if you go on to win the championship, you could say among the teams, certainly some work to do if you're looking at it from the Spartans' point of view. They're leading at 2-0, 14:30 to go in the first half. Certainly from Husson's point of view, some work to do, trailing by 2 goals here in the first half, but a lot of time left. But a team that has not scored against the Spartans this year, albeit the 4-time NAC champ, though. We talk about it all the time on a 2-goal lead, whether it be ice hockey, field hockey, or soccer. The next goal is so big, you get it to go up by 3, or the other team gets it to cut the lead to 1. Lanuski. It'll be a restart. Caitlin Butterfield. Caitlin Butterfield for Husson, the Husson Eagles on a Bangor main. Through the area and not able to run it down. Amanda Gifford. That went just a little bit too far.
And Jack, I was just looking at some of the stats right there as you were talking about the Husson Eagles and scoring. They've put 40, I have down on my stat sheet, 40 goals in this year. And I was just about to try to come up with what they're averaging goals per game. But they're allowing only 15 goals for their opponents. So they're clearly outscoring their opponents by quite a wide margin. And 15 goals is probably about 1 goal a game that they've allowed. So Castleton has obviously clearly exceeded that.
On the throw-in, Kluke. Lenny is number 19 for Castleton, and this is Alexandra Lanuski. It's going to be a throw-in for the Husson Eagles. Actually, a restart by Caitlin Butterfield. Tries to send it through the area. And it out of there, Tate drove along the far side. Healey Roberge, number 15 for Castleton. On the throw-in. Lauren Marcoux on the throw in for Husson. Edge of the 18. Gherkin number 12 up along the far side. Megan Blongi knocked across the line. Throw in Castleton and knocked across the line by Jana Kluke. Here's the throw in now for Lenny. Again, another throw in coming up for Husson. Back the other way for Kluke. Again, Kluke on the throw in for Husson. Marcoux got shaken up just a little bit. That hit her right in the nose. Number 13 for Husson. Backtracking Kelly Gherkin. To the center circle. Ethier. Down the middle past Garceau. Here's Chadburn with it. Ahead now. Well, Blongi can't run it down. And out to play it is Peterson.
And actually, right just prior to that, the flag was up here on the far side,
offside,
and
yeah.
it would have been offsides if Blongi had caught up to it. She was just a titch offside.
At the half line, Ethier. Lenny. Ahead now, Garceau got just a little bit. You talk about a moving pick. That was like a moving pick right there.
And actually, I was surprised that would have been a perfect opportunity right there for a obstruction call. And Jack, nice job picking it up right there.
Lenny to Courtney Chadburn, the three-time NAC Player of the Year, number 9 for the Spartans. Now it is Gherkin with it to Garceau toward the top of the arc. Feeds it down the middle. Arnott, who scored 2 goals in the semi a week ago, couldn't quite chase it down. Ethier again at the 30. Back out to the center circle. Now Arnott along the near side on the left wing. Arnott along the near sideline. Garceau. Garceau along the near side. Tries to move it through the area by Chadburn. There to knock it down, still in the area, it is Megan Blongi, and it's outside the 18 now, across the line. Throw in for Arnott. As in, it's going to be Hannah Joslin for the Spartans. Joslin's in for Megan Blongi.
And again, look at you can. I think the folks at home, Jack, can hear the fans as well as the bench just cheer these players as they're coming off. I mean, these Castleton fans are ready for this game. They are fired up.
Spartans goals, Hillary Cook and also Brandy White, who, by the way, are not in the game right now, to talk about that depth of the number 1 seeded Castleton Spartans. O'Burge all the way out. Peterson with Garceau. Garceau is the player that checked in for Cook. I mean, right now already several substitutions for Coach Chapdelaine. No, we talk about depth certainly on any college team when you get right down to it. When you have an opportunity to recruit, there's no reason why you shouldn't have depth for the most part. But do you agree with that? Or?
Well, no doubt. I mean, it's really in the coach's hands at that point. Unlike in high school, you get what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, as a college coach, you can go out there and really pull those players in. But I do have to say, Jack, we've seen some teams, more so on the men's side, that have very, very short benches. In fact, I think back to that Linden team had a very, very small bench. The Linden team that beat the Castleton men's team to go on to the NAC final. That was a very short bench.
Which is being shown today on NSN because Linden is at Thomas. That game on NSN videocast from Waterville, Maine.
But Coach Chapdelaine here for Castleton, very active in recruiting. He's talked to us about a couple of players that we've had over the years, and you could see from the roster really pans over the state to try to pull those Vermont girls in, those top Vermont girls throughout, and to try to get them here to Castleton State College. And I tell you, it's got to be easy to recruit.
Waterfield through the area on the
It's got to be easy.
restart.
It's got to be easy to recruit when, number one, you bring them to this fantastic facility and tell the girls this is where you're going to play your home games. But not only that, you look back to their records and what they've done, and obviously, that's a great recruiting tool right there, either being in the finals or
Sure is,
possibly coming in on possibly winning a title right now.
Yeah, when I say, you should have depth because you have an opportunity to recruit, we might add that some places have advantages over others on recruiting, and certainly Castleton working its way to that. Matter of fact, they're there already, as you just mentioned. The facility, the academics here, and certainly if you win a championship or two, certainly it's the same case for Husson, winning 4 straight. But, the way the programs are here at Castleton, why wouldn't you choose to come here? See if Lenny can chase it down. Does along the Forest side. Marcoux, Lenny toward the 18. And off the right shoulder, the Garceau well within the goalkeeper's box within an eyelash of scoring there.
Yeah, Garceau was screaming in on that ball, and it was actually kind of low for her, and it came in right around her chest or shoulder, and it's hard to get a shot on net with the ball coming in right there. And actually, the keeper, Peterson, came out and took her out a little bit as she went after the rebound coming off of her chest.
This is Lenny on the throw-in for Castleton. Jocelyn couldn't quite control. Hannah Jocelyn, who's in number 17 for the Spartans out of Ludlow. Jocelyn is a well-known name in the Ludlow, Vermont area to those of you watching around the world. Lanuski on the left wing for Husson. Verge, nice job defensively for the Spartans.
Yeah, Jack, and I want to point that out. The Castleton defense looked a little shaky from the very beginning, but they've settled down nicely and have done a very good job of tightening up the passing lanes.
Here's a corner, though. We say Verge, nice job as it's loose and knocked away within the goalkeeper's box.
And it looks like the referee, Kixie Austin's going to call that the keeper had possession of that ball and was knocked down, so there's going to be a free kick and a restart coming out of the box right now. And that was Husson's second corner kick right there as we approaching the end of this first half.
We talk even of a defensive play. Would you agree a defensive play, even though it might result in a corner, it's sort of like a breakaway in ice hockey or something that might result in a penalty.
You got to make the defensive play.
Yeah,
exactly. And then you kind of live to fight another day.
It's 7-7 in the football game, Castleton and Norwich. Is that in the first quarter or second quarter?
That looks like it's in the first quarter, Jack.
All right, that's on NASNsports.net as well. Of course, this game here, I'd like to say hi to the folks watching on Rutland PEGTV Channel 20, the Comcast system in the immediate Rutland, Vermont area. A lot of stuff going on today. 2-0 Castleton here in the NAC Women's Soccer Championship game at Spartan Stadium at Castleton with 3:30 to go in the first half. The goals by Hillary Cook and Brandy White. Husson on the throw-in along the near side. Husson going left to right as you look at your screen. Castleton right to left here in the first half. From our camera people shooting toward the stands in the press box here at Spartan Stadium. Courtney Chadburn playing it at own side of the field for Castleton. Marcoux on a nice job there getting it away from Lenny. Lenny backtracking. Marcoux there, and Marcoux will have the quick throw in for the Husson Eagles.
Yeah, Husson's still trying to put together some sort of offensive push right here. They seem fragmented somewhat. They haven't been able to get a good quality rush up to get a good shot on net, and they're still trying to find that offensive game.
Goal kick for Erica Davis, first teamer, all NAC for Castleton, one of several players on the field today from both teams on the all NAC team. As I say that, the 3-time NAC Player of the Year, Courtney Chadburn to Lenny. Lenny looking to chase it down at the 35. Nice play. Has Garceau ahead. Here's Lenny. Pass Garceau at the 18 and knocked out. On the left wing was Hannah Jocelyn. I think she was trying to feed it through to Jocelyn. Here's Frey toward Lenny, and the throw in for the Spartans. It'll be Kelsey Lenny. Hannah Jocelyn toward the corner. Garceau and couldn't quite get to it at the goalkeeper's box. I believe that was Arnott coming down on the left side as well. It was Arnott and Garceau, and grabbed by the goalkeeper, Peterson.
And it seems Peterson has done a pretty good job of late grabbing those balls in the air as they've been crossed in. Of course, the 2 goals that slipped past her were balls that were kind of sent in up in the air, and she's bound to determine not to get beat like that again.
Oslin chase it down along the far side. Can't, but it's off Mark Koo anyway. It'll be Lenny on the throw-in. 58 seconds to go, first half, 2-0 Castleton. Courtney Chadburn. On the right wing, Jocelyn there to chase it down, number 17 for the Spartans. Throwing it through the area, Arnott, and it's covered up by the goalkeeper. Peterson, Rosalind Peterson.
Dangerous ball sent in right there, Jack, as a host of players were going to that. Both Castleton and Husson players were attacking that ball and kind of squirted out a little bit, but Peterson was able to gather up the rebound.
At the center circle, Manning, the ever so dangerous Michelle Manning. Here now is Jocelyn. 14 seconds to go in the half. And Chadburn at the arc and couldn't quite control back out toward the 35. 6 seconds to go in the half. Back at the 35. That is the end of the first half. We're at halftime here at Spartan Stadium in women's soccer, the NAC championship game in Castleton on 2 early goals, leading at 2-0 over the Husson University Eagles out of Bangor, Maine. The winner goes on to the NCAA Division III tournament, and the loser very well could be in the ECAC tournament coming up. We'll be back to talk about it on our halftime show after this timeout from Castleton.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
There's your halftime score. Castleton with a 2-0 lead over Husson, as this is championship day in the NAC, and it is Hillary Cook, her 16th goal of the year from Kelly Tatro at the 3:09 mark. Early in the game, remember the 2 teams were scoreless in their regular season game. That put Castleton up 1-0. And then at the 8:16 mark, Brandy White, her 2nd of the year from Courtney Chadburn, that put the Spartans up 2-0. And that's where we stand right now. Rosalind Peterson, actually no saves for Husson. Erica Davis has 1 for the Spartans. Corner kicks, Husson has 2. Castleton also with 2. And we mentioned Paul Austin, Kixie Austin, and Randy Dewey and John Sivert are the officials. Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger, and Brian and Katie are the camera people. Weston Wheeler, our producer. Our producers at Channel 20, PEGTV in Rutland, is the game live on Channel 20. Mike Valentine and also Chris McCormick. And those goals came quickly. By 8 minutes into the game, Castleton had a 2-0 lead, and they've nursed that lead here to halftime.
Well, Jack, not only 2 picture-perfect goals, but exactly when you want to have them. In a championship game, you want to get on the board early. You want to get into that driver's seat, as we said before. And certainly against a team that you hadn't scored against all season long, that's exactly what you want to do if you're Castle. And that's the game plan, and they seem to be following it.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
theater and music,
radio and TV,
internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
and lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
Getting set for second half action now in the NAC championship game. Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger, Weston Wheeler is our producer. Michael Valentine, Chris McCormick, our producers at Channel 20, PEGTV in Rutland, and Brian and Katie, our camera people. 2-0 Castleton is here in the second half. Husson will be going right to left, Castleton left to right. And to your right is Husson goalkeeper Rosalind Peterson. To your left, it'll be Castleton goalkeeper Erica Davis. Is going to score in the Norwich-Castleton football game. 12:38 left in the first half, and Castleton has taken a 14-13 lead over Norwich.
Well, Jack, you have to imagine it's a kind of the tale of two teams at halftime right there. You have the Husson squad that's probably saying, we just need to settle down into our game. We got to get our offense generated. We got to start, stringing together some passes and obviously getting some good shots on and not panic. Of course, on the other side, you have Castleton up very early by 2 goals, probably just saying, look, we need to play smart soccer, not take any chances in the defensive end. If we get in trouble defensively, let's just play it out, kind of work the clock to our advantage. So definitely the tale of two different speeches in those halftime circles with the coaches and the teams.
Might add, too, that Castleton has the wind at its back here in the second half, but it didn't seem to really, even though it looks like a relatively strong wind going left to right on your screen, again at the back of Castleton here in the second half, it really was not a factor in the first half. As Husson with the offensive pressure early, here's Manning, and it rolls in on Davis, and Manning had an opportunity there. That had some space.
She did. She had beaten her man, and the ball had slipped in down behind, and she took the one-timer shot, which was exactly what you need to do. Don't really take too many touches. Set it up so the defense can have a chance to get on you. She got that shot off quick.
Here's Chadburn on the right wing. Looking to run it down on the left wing now is Brandy White. Back now to Cook. Those are the 2 goal scorers. Back outside Gherkin, and it's tipped up and over. Nice play by Rosalind Peterson. Kelly Gherkin looking to put it underneath the crossbar.
Well, Jack, you had just said that wind wasn't necessarily a factor on that shot right there. Definitely was, as that ball was carried in about 30 yards out on net.
Certainly, when I say not a factor, because here's the inside the goalkeeper's box knocked out, and by that I meant is the team that was going against the wind scored the 2. Here's
Most
another
definitely.
corner.
Most definitely. As Castleton will get awarded a corner again as that came off of a defensive player for Husson.
It's Campbell through the area. Top of the goalkeeper's box knocked out of there. And Rebecca Jones, number 17, along the near sideline. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't care how good a team is. It's a long way back, trailing by 3. But right now it's a 2-0 lead for Castleton. Ever so close to getting that 3rd goal.
And again, it's got to be doubly frustrating for Husson that hasn't been able to put together a good offensive push to really threaten Erica Davis, goalkeeper for Castleton, down at the other end.
Randy White, top of the 18. Here's Blongy. Blongy just can't quite get a good foot on that, but it's going to be another corner. It's going to be Courtney Chadburn on the corner.
Yeah, that ball was following kind of awkwardly down at Belangi's foot. She couldn't quite get good placement and get a good plant on it as she tried to just get it on net as best she could. But must have come off of somebody as we have another Castleton corner kick.
Here's Courtney Chadburn through the area, and they miss on the header right up top of the goalkeeper's box. It was Cook, and that one went in on Peterson. Punts it out toward the half line. 42:07 to go in the second half, and Castleton has a 2-0 lead in the NAC final in women's soccer here at Sporting Stadium. Knocked out along the near side. Throw in for Campbell for Castleton. Castleton in white, the dark uniforms, the four-time defending NAC champion Husson Eagles. Castleton looking to avenge what happened in the title game a year ago. Healey Tatros, number 11 for Castleton. That's the half line. Campbell. Cook tried to get to it, couldn't. It's going to be a throw in here along the near sideline. You know, you're watching the artificial turf here. We're talking about some of the, this is going to be the site of the state championship games, boys and girls soccer on Monday and Tuesday night. The high school here in the state of Vermont Division III. I forgot which night was the boys. I'm not sure which night is the boys and which night is the girls, but in Division III, because it was changed from a venue here in Vermont for Jens High School. We've had a lot of rain and so forth. The field unplayable, but you know, you see the ball bounce. I always like to see that every once in a while. The artificial turf, the newer artificial turf. You see the black dust or whatever it is.
Yeah, what it is it's ground up tires is what it is, and you can see that bounce right up. And that's what helps. That's what makes this so much better than just regular AstroTurf, is because a player can wear regular cleats and the cleat sinks in like it would on normal grass. The old AstroTurf would put a lot of stress. First of all, you would get turf toe or get a lot of sores on your foot. But not only that, it would put a lot of stress on your knees as players would pivot and turn because it didn't give like normal grass. There was just a lot of friction there. So those ground-up tires allow the cleat to sink in and allow your foot to be able to rotate and less stress on your knee like a normal grass sod would be.
Hillary Cook up the middle on the right wing. Megan Blongy on the left wing. Courtney Chadburn. That's an all-star front line, isn't it? Chadburn. Hillary Cook and Megan Blongy, first team all NAC, and of course Courtney Chadburn, the three-time player of the year. Both these teams, of course, you wouldn't be in the finals unless you had good players, and both teams have players all over that NAC all-league team.
Be another corner for Castleton, third in this half, Jack, 5 overall in the game. And again, just representative of how much offensive push and how much offensive pressure that Castleton is putting on in the opening minutes here in the second half.
Well, now, what did they call there?
It was a corner, and Courtney Chadburn's corner just went in. It went in and then out of bounds and hit the side of the net right there. It's kind of an awkward way to see it on this side.
Out toward the 35, along the far side, and knocked out by Kelly Gherkin. I was just, while she was about ready to do that, I was writing down the 4 straight years, 06, 07, 08, and 09 for Husson, and Castleton, the last team other than Husson to win the championship of the NAC, which was 05. So Castleton looking for its first championship here in the NAC since 2005, first championship in 5 years. And out is Peterson. The Rookie of the Year is on the field, too. Rebecca Jones from Husson, the Rookie of the Year. We mentioned the Player of the Year, Courtney Chadburn. The Coach of the Year, Molly Wilkie from Maine Farmington. Sportsmanship Award won by Green Mountain. .37-18 left in the second half, 2-0 Castleton. Throw in is Katie McLaughlin. Husson went right to left. Manning is the player to watch, number 22, Michelle Manning. All-league first-teamer in her own right for Husson.
And, Jack, that temperature, I had an opportunity to kind of go out towards the field at halftime there, and the temperature has picked up just a little bit with that sun breaking through that overcast sky that we had earlier. We can actually see some blue skies up there.
Goal kick. Sun shining right now, and the overcast skies that we had earlier clearing out. Manning trying to feed it toward the 25. Coming down the middle is Lanuski. Back out toward the 25 is McLaughlin trying to control, and it'll be a restart for Castleton.
You'll see Castleton probably really look to milk the clock on these restarts after fouls are committed. You know, there's no real pressure of time. There's no, major anticipation they have to worry about. So you'll probably see them ticking off a couple of seconds as whenever they can.
Manning down the middle, can't get to it at the 30. Back out toward the center circle. I've asked you this before. How much time do they give you on that?
Well, it's really referee's discretion if you're whether it be a corner kick, a goal kick, or a foul like that. You know, usually 3 to 5 seconds they'll give you to kind of get yourself organized. Anything beyond that, they're going to start to say something.
Here's Manning. Manning in. Manning looking, and the great save by Davis. Oh my, Davis on the diving save.
Jack, what a great save right there, as that's really truly the first time that Erica Davis has been challenged. I'm hoping that we're going to have a chance to see that on replay in just a moment. But Manny, though, the biggest threat that Husson has, got the ball to her right foot and put a nice low shot on Erica Davis. And we'll see it right here as she's going to reach down to the right-hand side to make that save. So Manny has the ball right here, Jack, and you can see she works it over to her right side as she crosses the 18, gets a good shot. Erica Davis going down to her right side and gets her hand right there and covers up the rebound, which is even more impressive. So nice job. First time that she's really been tested.
Here's Cloutier in close inside the 18. Tough angle, trying to feed it across the area. Coming down was Alexandra Lanuski, but too high and too far. And actually Husson in the situation now at 34-39 to go in the second half, really has to take some chances offensively.
Most definitely, Jack. And I do have to say from experience, looking at it from Erica Davis' side, the goalie for Castleton, hadn't had much action in that first half. And to be tested like that, you really have to find your game quickly, as she hadn't been moving around and really warmed up a whole lot. And she was up for the challenge.
Castleton goals in the first half by Hillary Cook and Brandy White. And Castleton, by the 8:16 mark of the game in the first half, had already taken a 2-0 lead, still with that 2-0 lead with 34 minutes to go in the second half. Brandy White from Springfield, Vermont, looking to on the throw-in here. Clementive's number 11, but here's Ethier for Castleton. Down the middle. Campbell, top of the arc, wanted to go toward Cook. Knocked up into the air by Clement. Here's White at the 35, along with Clement for Husson. Center circle now, back and forth. White. Watch it roll out, and on the throw-in for Castleton. Chadburn on the left wing. Throw in for Husson. By White up to Manning. Tatro back the other way for Castleton. Here on the left wing is Chadburn. Down the middle it is Blongi. Tries to move it on through the area. And a Campbell on the right wing goes out, and Alexandra Lanuski will throw it in for Husson. Had the ball originally. Jana Kluke will do it. Longi. White.
That was a good one-time shot by White as that ball came from the near side wing from Belangi, and White just couldn't get over it as she's going to check out right now.
And Kelsey Lenny checks in. Kelsey Lenny, number 19 for the Spartans. Freshman of Coxsackie, New York. I have no idea where that is. Oh, that's right. I forgot he's got the his trusty BlackBerry here. Every time I ask a question, I forgot. You always answer it eventually. Tapping it toward Cook. Now Chadburn, near side Lenny. Moves it through the area and headed out by number 19, Healey Picarillo for the Husson Eagles. But it's going to be a corner for Castleton. This time it'll be Megan Blongy. And that hit the side of the net. That one I did see.
Yeah, and it's possible, Jack, that wind is pushing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of curving out of bounds right there off the end line.
Toward the half field, back the other way as it's up to Manning at the center circle. Nice move across the half line. Manning on the fly for Husson. Feeds it toward the top of the arc. Shot blocked. That was Lanuski. Lanuski on a battle with number 15, Roberge, knocks it out toward the half field. Husson looks to control again along the near side. Looks like Picarillo, but now Blongy picks her pocket and gets it across the half line. The Cook to Chadburn on the right wing. Lenny coming down on the left wing inside the 18. Shot and save. A beauty by Rosalind Peterson.
Nice shot by Courtney Chadburn as the defender on her was actually giving her a lot of room. But Rosalind Peterson was up for the challenge on the other side, making a nice fingertip grab right there. And the key to that, Jack, is not allowing a rebound.
Hung on to it, and a big save there by the goalkeeper for Husson to keep it a 2-0 game. Castleton, the Spartans, with that 2-0 lead with 29-28 to go here in the second half. McLaughlin getting set on the throw-in here for Husson. Is checking in is Emily Zurcher, number 16. Zurcher is in for Clement for the Husson Eagles. Manning looks to chase it down. Manning feeds it ahead. Manning still with it at the 25 and kicked out of there by Tatro. Flukie takes it back into Castleton territory. Lenny along the near side. Which way are they going to point the flag here? It's going to be the throw-in for the Husson Eagles. Again, the throw-in for the Husson Eagles with 28-27 to go, second half, 2-0 Castleton. 2 goals in the game coming within the first 8 minutes and 16 seconds of the game. First one at 3:09, the goal by Hillary Cook, her 16th of the year from Tatro. It's going to be a corner for Husson. And the second goal at 8:16, Brandy White, her second of the year from Courtney Chadburn. Courtney Chadburn, a good defender as well, and literally took it away from Alexandra Lanuski. Here on the right wing, here comes Megan Blongy. Blongy to Cook. Cook looks and fires it in wide.
End-to-end action right there as that came off of the corner kick, then transferred all the way down, and great transition for Castleton as they come back the other way.
Arnott is in for Campbell for Castleton. It's the NAC Women's Championship in college soccer here at Spartan Stadium on NSN PEGTV Channel 20 in the Rutland area. And that'll roll in on Peterson as Caitlin Butterfield. Watch that roll by.
So, Jack, Cocksick, New York is in Columbia County, and it borders the Hudson River. Have to take the north way up there to get there, apparently.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You can book a hotel here if you'd like.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Lanuski. Here's Manning. Manning trying to make things happen for the Husson Eagles inside the 18. Had Lanuski back on the right wing, but double teamed somewhat as it's knocked out of trouble by the Spartans. Courtney Chadburn now at the 35. Bumped by Butterfield.
And the foul was called right there, Jack, on the near side. We'll have a free kick for Castleton as Courtney Chadburn was knocked off that ball shoulder to shoulder. And you're going to have that when you're the 3-time reigning NAC player of the year.
Tatro on the free kick for Castleton. Here it comes through the area. Lenny couldn't get to it at about the 10. Back out toward the half field for the Husson Eagles. Tatro and Lenny. Out along the near side, throw in for Jenna Kluke for the Husson Eagles. Husson out of Bangor, Maine, the 4-time NAC champ, and Castleton can hang on. The Spartans have a 2-0 lead. Here's Blongi on the right wing, inside the 18. Blongi still with it. Feeds it down the middle, deflected, and they score.
That looks like an own goal, Jack.
It is an own goal. It's 3-0. Castleton with 25-28 to go.
Yep, Megan Belangi sent that ball across. She was looking to hook up with Courtney Chadburn, and it came off of a Husson defender in front there, and that's just that's a tough goal to have to give up. But you know, hats off to Castleton as they were driving hard, and Belangi made a nice move around the defensive player and beat her man, and then sent that one across. And we're going to see that replay in just a second.
Here, an own goal. We're calling it Castleton with a 3-0
So you can see Belangi making a nice cutback move to beat her man here, and she's going to make her way towards the goal, sending it across, and you right there off of the stomach of that fullback for Husson, and it goes in the back of the net. And that's, as I said, Jack, a tough goal right there as Castleton goes up 3-0. And at this point, about halfway through the second half and halfway through the game, 3 goals is a monumental task for any team.
So it is in the books as an own goal. It's 3-0 Castleton. And that is a monumental comeback attempt for the 4-time defending NAC champs coming up here. Lanuski poked out toward the 35. And the shot at it was McLaughlin. Lanuski, Manning. Davis.
Jack, I go back to that goal, and something that we've always said, whether it be coaching, and we've said it here, is you just need to put the ball on net and good things will happen. And that's certainly what Megan Belangi did right there, beating her man and then sending that cross. And even if that player from Husson didn't touch the ball, I think Courtney Chadburn was on the doorstep there and ready to put it in the back of the net.
Castle has taken a 21-13 lead over Norwich in football. Here's Megan Belangi, and Peterson gets to it. So far, it's been a super day for the Spartans. Of course, a long way to go in that football game. Is that that's in the second quarter.
So, Jack, there was a foul behind the play that was a bit of a delayed call, and Castleton's going to have a free kick restart just over half field.
Here is Chadburn and across the line. 23:30 remaining in the second half. It's 3-0 Castleton. Checking back in, Megan Clement. Clement for Rebecca Jones. Rebecca Jones is checking out now. Number 17 for Husson is the Rookie of the Year in the NAC from Newmarket, New Hampshire. I know where Newmarket is. It's right around Durham. It's right around.
Yeah, I have family in that area.
Yeah. The throw in for Castle along the forest side. It's Healey Reburge, number 15. Now Ethier controls. Cross for Megan Belangi. Bounces to the 35, and at the center circle is Jenna Kluke. Now Manning, number 22. Manning, nice move. Lanuski coming down the middle. Top of the arc, Lanuski. Nuski on the right. Back out toward Lanuski. That's Roberge there. And a throw in for Husson. It'll be McLaughlin. Lanuski, McLaughlin. And the goal kick for Davis. Of course, Mike Coppinger will be down below if Castleton can hang on to win the championship. I know there'll be trophy presentations and so forth too. Here's Manning, nice move, Manning in. Here's Manning, and it's really couldn't get the good shot away. It's kind of impeded somewhat. Was that
Tatro?
That was Tatro.
Tatro doing a great job, and that's the second big stick that she's had in the back.
Tatro, who had the assist on that goal by Cook, has also been tremendous defensively. Here's Arnott down the middle. Back out toward the center circle. Across the half line. Castleton would just as soon see the play out there all day long, back and forth. Tatro skips by it, but coming out to play it is Davis.
So, Jack, we're definitely past the halfway point in this second half in this NAC championship game, and you have to kind of say to yourself, if you're Castleton, you know, do you want to pack it in a little bit with a 3-0 lead and play more defensive minded? Of course, what's got you this far in this game is all the offense you've had, so you almost want to keep that pressure on and not waver from the game plan that's got you up 3 goals.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you could talk about it, a prevent defense. I think a prevent defense certainly in soccer is a lot more successful than, let's say, a prevent defense in even ice hockey or football. You know, when I say prevent defense,
most definitely
hanging, hanging back a little bit. It almost always hurts you in the other sports. I'm not so sure that it hurts you as much in soccer for sure, because it's not as much of an offensive game. So here's Manning down the middle. Manning toward the 18, top of the arc. Gifford. Into Gifford's second team all NAC. Goal kick for Davis. 3-0 Castleton, as you see on your screen. 19:30 left here in the second half of the NAC Women's Soccer Championship game. Not to presuppose anything, but how much of a chance, because I'm not sure exactly how it might work. This is the NAC, and the chances of playing at home in the NCAA tournament.
Boy, you know, Jack, that's probably a tough question to answer, and it certainly probably depends on strength of schedule and so on and so forth.
And by that I say, you know, when you compare it to the leagues, generally speaking, as Hillary Cook is in number 6 for Castleton. She was out for a while, and she's in for Megan Blongi. Is to take nothing away from the Division III leagues in the East, but generally speaking, you play on the road. Here's Arnott. What'd they say when you asked the question?
Yeah, and I was just looking next door here to the press box and to the scorekeepers, and asked if the chance of an NCAA home game, and it's not looking too positive.
No, again, you know, because it's take nothing away from the league, but you know, on the other hand, of course, it's, as you say, the strength of
schedule and competitors, right?
For example, in some of the other sports are maybe not necessarily the NAC, but the other sports, Division III, outside of hockey, ice hockey, generally speaking, you don't play home games in the NCAA.
No. And Jack, it appears that Castleton football has gone up 28-13.
Wow.
Over there at Norwich for the Maple. Is it the Maple Sap bucket or the Maple bucket? What is the official?
Sap bucket.
Maple Sap bucket.
Now, that's a pretty good football team. And this is a pretty good soccer team. Right now, just under 17 minutes away from its first championship since 2005, the Castleton Spartans. Here's Courtney Chadburn backtracking McLaughlin. Throw in for Cloutier. Manning across the half line. Has Chadburn had a breather today?
She has not come out.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
As of late, she is not.
Here's Garceau on the left wing. And out is Peterson. Garceau and Cook are in the same time. They weren't in the first half. Well, you want it's the championship game. You get the 3-time player of the year, I guess.
You let it all hang out.
They stay in the game.
You let it all hang out. And again, it goes back to, you don't want to waver too much from the game plan that got you all the way here and got you up by several goals, as we have a handball right now for Husson. I believe that was on Michelle Manny.
And a restart for the Spartans here with 15:40 to go in regulation in the second half. But Castleton in pretty good shape here in the NAC championship, 3-0. Tatro from the half line through the area. Knocked away, knocked out of the area. Kirkin comes over, plays it at the 25. Manning on a chase. Tatro, though. Manning, Tatro, and
looks like Tatro drew the foul right there. Again, another great defensive play by Tatro. And she had Manny on her heels, and Manny is the scorer for this Husson team, and again denying her. And she was actually had her back to that play. Manny had the advantage, and she had the wheels, and Tatro had her back to the play and actually had to pivot and chase that ball down.
Tatro, the defender, 5'6" junior from Tolland, Connecticut. I would ask you, but I've heard of Tolland, Connecticut. I think I've been there, but I'm not exactly sure where. But we're not MapQuest, so we'll just get it back with it.
And it's not that big of a state.
It's not Jeopardy. Geography. Jeopardy, Final Jeopardy, Geography.
And Sarah Ethier is going to get called on a foul there.
This is Caitlin Butterfield.
Into the wind with this one.
Down through the area. Lanuski trying to get to it, but there's Davis. Spartans with that 3-0 lead.
And time beginning to be such a factor for the Husson Eagles right now with 13:40 left.
We've seen quite a few games this year, and obviously Castleton, #1 seed, has had a tremendous year up to this point, and it appears that it's going to continue, but this is about as good a game as I've seen him play. I think we might have said that last week.
I mean, honestly, truly, Jack, just dominating from the beginning whistle. And Castleton's had some problems in the past of starting off on the right foot and coming out lackadaisical, whether it be at the beginning of the game or even after the first half. And they certainly have not had a problem with that at all.
The biggest threat was Davis's tremendous save on Manning early in the second half, where really Castleton had the momentum anyway, but you can
analyze that and say if that goal went in early on in the second half, if things could have crumbled from there. But Erica Davis coming up with that huge grab.
Championship teams do it all, whether it be defense, goalkeeping, and offense, and
And we've seen it all displayed tonight, today rather, and some beautiful goals and some great defensive stands and some great goaltending.
Here's the corner from Lenny, 3-0 Castleton, 12:20 left here in regulation. Arnott is out and back in. Brandy White for the Spartans. Here's the corner on through the area, knocked out of the area. Zurcher, number 16. Spartans continue to put on the pressure. Here's Cook. Cook shoots, and it hits the crossbar of the football goal post.
Hillary Cook looking for her second one of the game right there. She took a volley, put it on net, and it's about 3 feet over, but that was a whistler.
Here's Chadburn on the right wing. So White. White on the throw-in for the Spartans out of Springfield, Vermont. White getting it back from Cook through the area. Just inside the 18, Chadburn. Up to Manning along the far side. Out the throw-in for Carol Frey. It'll be the throw-in for Brandy White. Laughlin plays it. Again, Brandy White. Garceau toward the corner, out. Brandy White's from Springfield, Vermont. If I remember correctly, no relation to Grant White, who was from Springfield, Vermont, who was a sports star at Springfield High School, and went on to Kimball Union Academy, where Weston Wheeler was the valedictorian in the early 2000s.
And you, Jack, in the 60s?
Yeah, I was in the. I think I was in the top 10. I wasn't a valedictorian. But Grant was a post-grad there, and is at Bowdoin now, a backup quarterback, but he's also from Springfield, Vermont, but no relation to Brandy White, who's from Springfield, Vermont. And certainly sports fans in Vermont are familiar with the situation. High school sports in the state of Vermont. Were you the valedictorian, by the way, Weston? Oh, okay. Hey, salutatorian? Lanuski down the middle with Manning. Lanuski, and there's Tatro again.
Wow, Jack, that was, I'm actually surprised there wasn't a call right there.
As that was, I was looking around.
Pretty hard shoulder-to-shoulder play, and I'm looking down to the Husson bench, and they just can't believe it. But what a great defensive play right there as Tatro again coming up big, taking that one off the foot.
9:15 to go here in the second half. Castleton on the verge of a NAC championship in women's soccer. Championship game here today at Spartan Stadium. Castleton's really just dominated. Pass from Garceau toward White. Can't quite get to it. Back to play at Butterfield. Manning now. Knocked away Tatro. Just a tremendous defender. Cook. Center circle. Out at the half field. Castleton would just as soon play it there all day for the next 8 minutes and 25 seconds anyway. Are you getting text messages from around the world? Or
A couple of people are watching this game right now that are just talking about the play out there and whatnot. So it's, the power of the airwaves, Jack, whether they're watching it on PEGTV in the Rutland area or watching it around the world on NSN. I posted it on my Facebook, too. That was the other thing. And not to brag, I do have quite a few friends on Facebook. So it's amazing how many people will tune in.
I certainly use Facebook to shill for what I do. I mean, what the heck? Somebody's going to do it.
That's right. That's right.
Lenny toward the 18. Lenny for Castleton. Well, he moved off the ball, and
Actually, going back to my Facebook, I posted on there that I'll be doing the watch the game with me and Jack. I don't know if me and Jack is proper English or not. It would be Jack and I or me and Jack? We'll ask the salutatorian.
It's Jack and me.
It's Jack and me, okay.
I said I was in the top 10. I didn't say I was number 1. Outside the 18, and chest tipped over the top. A nice save there by Peterson. That, I believe, again, was Kelly Gherkin, number 12.
And again, Jack, I think another shot representative of the wind that was pushing that ball.
It carries it. Actually, we talked about the disadvantage of going against the wind, but, on the other hand, with the wind, it carries it a little bit. Here's a corner kick for Castleton. Through the area. Or so, past White and Cook there, top of the goalkeeper's box. Cook again, blocked. Remember, there was an own goal here into the second half for the third goal for Castleton. Castle just moving it around here with in the 18 and knocked back out toward the half field by Husson. 6:27 to go here in the second half. 3-0 Castleton. Of course, when I say it was in the top 10, it's not like there were 2,000 people in the class when I went. I think we had about 12. Spartans continue to put on that pressure. Garceau coming down the middle. And out there is Peterson. Castleton right on the verge of a championship here, Mike Coppinger.
Jack, it does have to be a really good feeling for this team. Again, avenging a loss from last year. Those girls who were on the team that I'm sure remember that. And not only that, but that tie earlier in the year. And a way to finish it off to be, number 1 throughout the year, be picked as one of the number 1 teams early on in the preseason, and to just carry that all the way through. And, definitely brought their A game with them today, Jack. So far, and with 5 minutes and 7 seconds left, just dominated from start to finish here.
Urca down the middle, knocked away. Cook along the near side, under 5 minutes to go in regulation. 3-0 Castleton.
You can hear those Castleton fans really sensing the victory here.
Back to grab it, McLaughlin on a chase, White toward the line.
That football game, Jack, has reached halftime, and Castleton is still holding on to that lead, 28-16 against Norwich.
And Norwich must have just kicked a field goal. Chadburn back taps it toward White across the line. Throw in for Husson. It'll be McLaughlin. Under 4 minutes to go, and Castleton has a 3-0 lead. Cloutier. Tapped by Roberge. Now Ethier with it. If there is such a thing, this is as close to a perfect game as you can get for Castleton.
And Jack, you had said it before. It's had so many great aspects of it. Great offense, great defense, really teamwork across the board. So, Jack, I think I'll wait just a few moments because you had said that they will be awarding the trophies and everything.
I don't know how quickly. It's all right. I don't know how quickly you'll get to the coach and so forth. So, I know you're planning on talking to a player or two as well. Here's Manning down the middle with Lanuski. So, yeah, you certainly can wait till the end. Here's Lanuski on the right wing inside the 18. Lanuski, tough angle, and not fire at home.
She's been quick on that wing. She's really generated the most offense besides Michelle Manny.
2:45 left here in the championship game. Castleton in front 3-0. 2 goals in the first half and an own goal here in the second half, and Castleton with that 3-0 lead. The goals, Hillary Cook and Brandy White, an own goal, which really was the backbreaker. But remember, the earlier game was 0-0, so Husson, up to this point with 2:17 left of the game, has not scored against Castleton. Throw in for Brandy White along the far side. And we'll do it again. You can follow along the time, 2-minute mark left here at Spartan Stadium in the NAC championship game. Tatro, appropriate enough, just a great defender. White. White blocked it. Gifford to the center circle. Cook. Kluke. Minute 30 to go. Well, the fans on their feet here. As we look down, we can see the players on the bench for Castleton. As you mentioned, real early, they haven't sat down all day, and they're doing the victory dance now. And we have a minute to go in the championship game. Spartans on the verge of a NAC championship in women's soccer. 44 seconds to go. Hustling to the end, Brandy White. And Husson hustling to the end as well, of course. And the 4-time defending champs, they certainly are going to go down proudly here at Spartan Stadium. 20 seconds to go. Garceau back out toward the half field, center circle. Gerken. Gerken again. 10 seconds to go. The fans counting it down to a championship. Castleton, your NAC champion. There they are as they celebrate here at Spartan Stadium.
Well, Jack, I don't think really a whole lot can be said. That picture says it all right there. Castleton coming in today and just absolutely dominating. Brought their best game from the very, very start, jumping out ahead real early, and just kept it coming and kept pouring it on. And congratulations to the girls on the field there. Congratulations to the coaching staff, of course, led by Chris Chapdelaine, walking away with the NAC championship today.
And the first NAC championship in women's soccer for the Spartans since 2005. Of course, Husson has dominated, and the Spartans, a little bit of payback here after losing in the title game a year ago. Castleton 3, Husson nothing. And going down below for the post-game show as the pandemonium and the celebration continues for the Spartans. As Mike Coppinger will go down below. He'll be seeing if he can get a word with a player or two, and also Coach Chris Chapdelaine. Of course, the post-game ceremony is coming up as well. We'll be back at our post-game show from Spartan Stadium after this word from Castleton.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
We'll see if we can listen in to some of the post-game comments here from the public address announcer and the SID at Castleton, Jeff Will.
And performances here today. At this time, we would like to begin our award ceremony. Presenting the awards this year are Castleton President David Walk and Deanna Tyson, Associate Dean of Athletics and Recreation here at Castleton. The following individuals have been selected to the all-tournament team and will receive a certificate at a later date. Please step forward to be recognized. From the University of Maine, Farmington, Katie Cray and Renee Brown. From Johnson State College, Katherine Johnson and Emily Hazard. From runner-up Husson, number 6, Alexandra Lanuski. Number 19, Healey Picarillo. And number 26, Caitlin Cloutier. And from champion Castleton, number 6, Hillary Cook. Number 9, Courtney Chadburn. Number 22, Maria Arnott. Number 24, Megan Belangi. And the 2010 North Atlantic Conference All-Tournament Most Valuable Player, number 11, Kelly Pedro. Congratulations to all of you on an outstanding tournament.
Well, we talked about the defender, Kelly Tatro. You heard the announcements. Hillary Cook, Courtney
At
Chadburn.
this time, with the
Leonard,
captains
Megan
and coaches
Blanche, the
of the
Old Tournament
conference
team.
runner-up Husson, please come forward to receive your award.
Kelly Tatro, the
We applaud your efforts
All-Tournament
here today and
most
congratulate
valuable
you on a
player, the
fantastic
tournament
season.
MVP, deservedly so. As you're observing the post-game ceremonies here in the NAC Championship in women's soccer. Final on your screen,
This year's North
Castle.
Atlantic Conference Women's
3,
Soccer
Husson nothing.
champions will go on to represent the conference in the 2010 NCAA National Tournament, with the pairings decided on Monday. Will the captains and coaches of Castleton State College please come forward to accept their awards?
Castle, of course, advancing to the Division III NCAA tournament.
Congratulations and best of luck going forward in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Jack, I am down here with Castleton coach Chris Chapdelaine and, of course, three-time NAC player of the year, Courtney Chadburn. And first of all, Coach, congratulations. Heck of a game. You guys came out firing right from the start.
Yeah, we did. You know, we talked about how important it was to come out. I didn't expect to come out that quick, but it sure was nice. We finished, you know, on some beautiful goals. That Hillary's header to start the game was gorgeous. Brandy, you know, came far bar like we keep talking about time after time. Finished that. That put us up 2-0, and I think that was a deficit that, you know, they couldn't overcome. They knew that in order to be in this game, it was going to have to be a 1-0. I mean, we've been scoring goals all year, and, you know, the first time we struggled with it. We worked really hard on altering our play a little bit to attack the way they played, and I think you saw what happened when we made those adjustments today.
And Courtney, you had to figure that, you know, you were probably going to be marked. They were going to be, you know, eyeing to try to shut you down a little bit. You were able to help the offense, giving some great through balls, giving some great crosses in that eventually ended up in the back of the net off of a couple of your teammates.
Right, like Coach said, we switched our game plan a little bit and played the flanks, and that's what we wanted to do. Play those outside midfielders, get those crosses in. You can see that's where we got actually three of our goals came from the wings from the side. So that's what I tried to do.
Coach, it was impressive. You know, you and I have talked in past games that you come out a little sluggish, or even at halftime come out sluggish. But honestly, there wasn't any downtime in this game for you guys. You guys basically dominated from start to finish. Looking at the stats, I think you dominated just about every single category.
I would agree. I saw that too. You know, it's one of those things. There have been games where we've come out and played like this, and when we do that, we can beat anybody. I mean, I feel bad for whoever we're going to play in the tournament if we come out and play the way we can play, because if they just think, oh, it's Castleton, you know, they play an easy schedule, this and that, they got something coming.
And the other great part is there were so many different aspects of the game. You had obviously great offense. You hit some great defensive stands there. You know, some great saves even. Erica Davis made a huge save in the opening second half.
Without a doubt, she came up big. You know, we haven't asked her to come up big a lot this season. Our defense has been outstanding. She did. She made that great save. And, you know, the thing to be said is we play a man marking system, and we have two freshmen back there that we ask, shut down this one, shut down that one. I think that's a huge demand to put on someone who's a first-year player at the collegiate level. But they've stepped up to the plate, and Kelly Tatro is like a rock. I mean, you're not going to get by her. It's not going to happen.
And Courtney, let me ask you, you were on this field almost a year ago to the day, losing to this same Husson squad. How much was that on your mind today when you guys took the field today, knowing that they're reigning champions a couple of times over, and you guys had lost to them last year and had a frustrating tie earlier in the year against them?
It was on everybody's mind. The returners that came back is really bittersweet, and then the freshmen and transfers, they knew the story from last year, and they knew they beat us on our home, and we wanted it so much more this year, as we can see, 3-0.
Well, Coach Courtney, congratulations. One of the best games that I've seen in recent memory, definitely the best game I've seen all season. You brought your A game when you needed it. So congratulations on the championship. And, Jack, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mike Coppinger. Great job all year. Thank you very much, Mike, on the color commentary, assistant girls varsity soccer coach at nearby Rutland High School in Rutland, Vermont. The post-game show after the NAC championship, Castleton stopping Husson by a score of 3-0. It's on to the Division III NCAA tournament for the Castleton Spartans, the NAC champs. And thanks, everybody, for joining us today on the Northeast Sports Network, also on Channel 20, PEGTV, on the Comcast system in the Rutland area. That does it for our coverage here this afternoon from Spartan Stadium. For Mike Coppinger and our producer, Weston Wheeler, and Brian and Katie, our camera people, our producers at Channel 20, Mike Valentine and Chris McCormick, I'm Jack Healey, wishing you all a very pleasant good afternoon. Again, the final in the NAC Championship in women's soccer, Castleton 3, Husson nothing. Have a good afternoon, everybody.